Today's primary day in Ohio and Indiana. Polls closed nearly 2 hours ago in Ohio. NBC projects that Congressman Tim Ryan will be the Democratic Party's Senate candidate in November. Of course, the most anticipated race of the night is the Republican Senate primary, where Donald Trump's control over the Republican Party faced its first major primary test. Trump forgot the name of his preferred candidate, J.D. Vance, over the weekend, but just in the past few moments, NBC has projected that J.D. Vance will win the Republican primary. Joining us now is MSNBC's national political correspondent, the great Steve Kornacki. Steve, it is good to see you, my friend. You have big news out of Ohio right now. Those numbers are coming in fast and furious.
Yeah, Ali, and there it is. You see the check mark. J.D. Vance, we're declaring, has won the Republican primary. He will face off against Tim Ryan, the Democrat, in the fall. Basically, what's been happening here, if you've been watching these returns on our air tonight, when we first came on the air, when about the first 10 or 15% of the vote was reported out, Vance was running at about 24, 25%. And what that was is the way they report the vote out in Ohio is every county puts out the early vote and the vote by mail first. And in a Republican primary, that's a pretty small share of the overall vote. Most Republicans, remember this dynamic from the 2020 election, prefer to vote in person on Election Day. And the people that voted in person on Election Day today have broken sharply for J.D. Vance. In county after county, we've seen him measurably improving in how he did today versus how he did in the early vote. A couple things could explain that, but one of them is that it was in the middle of the early voting period on April 15th that Donald Trump threw his support behind J.D. Vance. And so it could be one of the reasons Vance is doing so much better today than he did in the early vote. Also worth noting, Josh Mandel here, who is running second, also ran very hard trying to get the Donald Trump endorsement, went very hard after Trump's voters. He's actually doing quite well as well when you look at the same day vote. Not as well as Vance, but he's doing quite well. It really does, I think, Ali, it's hard to put an exact number on it, but it's impossible to deny that Donald Trump's endorsement of J.D. Vance in the middle of April changed this race in a way that probably has put J.D. Vance over the top here. You could absolutely have seen Mandel winning this primary without J.D. Vance doing as well as he's doing with this same-day vote today. And you can see, I'll give you an example of it right here, Cuyahoga County. This is actually Matt Dolan. He's the one candidate Trump said he did not want winning this primary. This is Dolan's base. And again, Dolan's leading here. But when we were looking at numbers out of Cuyahoga County about an hour ago, we were just looking at the early vote. Dolan was crushing Vance. Margin was about 20 points. Now you can see as the same day vote has come in, Vance has moved that into single digits. That's great for J.D. Vance to be in Dolan's backyard and doing that well. You take a look in the suburbs just north of Columbus, Ohio, bedrock Republican suburbs here. Again, this is the kind of place the Dolan campaign very much wanted to win, wanted to get big numbers. Instead, Vance looks like he's on his way to actually outright winning Delaware County, Hamilton County, Cincinnati. Vance's family, Vance grew up in the area here. You can see he's actually leading in Hamilton County, Cincinnati right now. So actually, geographically, a pretty expansive victory here for Vance. And again, the number sitting at about 31%, more than 70% in. I wouldn't be surprised if it ticked up a little bit more, that Vance number, before the night's over. Also, if Mandel ends up running second ahead of Dolan, wouldn't be surprised by that either. But bottom line, J.D. Vance wins the primary. And Donald Trump, we said this was a test of his clout with Republican primary voters. And I think it'd be fair to say Donald Trump was critical in delivering this victory to J.D. Vance.
A big uptick in Vance's support since the endorsement by Donald Trump. Steve, great to see you, my friend. Thank you, as always, MSNBC national political correspondent, the great Steve Kornacki.